Many men walk around with a silent sense of defeat, like no matter how much effort they put in, the women they admire don't even notice them. She's stunning, magnetic, yet it's like you're invisible. Most guys assume that's the end of the story. But what if that quiet rejection is actually an opening? Welcome to the channel, a space not for gimmicks, but for men ready to explore the real, unspoken power behind attraction. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on something most never grasp: how to make her feel drawn to you even if she didn't feel it from the start. Because true attraction isn't about flashy moves or being the loudest guy in the room, it's about presence. It's in your posture, your grounded energy, the way you move through life with calm certainty while others scramble for attention. You don't need to change who you are. You just need to become more of it, refined, steady, focused. This video will show you how to tap into the quiet force that pulls women in naturally. No begging, no chasing, no masks. If you're done with wishing and ready to become unforgettable, stay with me. Drop a comment below saying I'm ready to embody quiet power, and watch what happens when you shift your energy. Even the ones who once overlooked you won't be able to ignore you now. Section 1. The eye contact that changes everything. There's something ancient about eye contact. It's one of the few things that cuts through words, ego, and even resistance. But most men, look few, know how to see. When it comes to attraction, real eye contact isn't random. It's not about staring or glancing. It's about presence, intention, stillness. And here's something most never learn. Look into her left eye. Why? Because according to neuroscience, the left eye is more emotionally responsive. It connects to the brain's right hemisphere, the part responsible for feelings, memory, and intimacy. When you look there, something subtle happens. You're not just being seen, you're being felt. This is where oxytocin, the bonding hormone, is released, the same one that activates during deep hugs, shared vulnerability, or emotional closeness. You create safety, you create space, and that space allows attraction to grow. So the next time you talk to her, slow down, take a breath, hold her gaze, not with force, but with grounded calm. Let your eyes speak first. I'm not here to impress you, I'm here to see you. That kind of gaze doesn't demand attention, it invites connection. It tells her silently, you matter, you're safe here. And here's the truth, most forget words can lie, but the eyes, they rarely do. When your gaze carries calmness, clarity, and quiet strength, you leave a deeper imprint than any line or compliment ever could. That's not seduction, that's presence. And when you master it, you don't chase attraction, you become the gravity she feels without knowing why. Section 2. The scent of subtle seduction. You don't have to speak to be remembered. Sometimes your presence lingers in silence through scent. Most men overlook this, but a well-chosen fragrance is one of the most subtle and powerful tools of attraction. Why? Because scent goes straight to the emotional part of the brain. It bypasses logic. It connects to memory, comfort, and emotion. When you wear a scent that truly fits who you are, not loud or synthetic, but clean, masculine, and grounded, you're not just smelling good. You're leaving behind a psychological signature. Picture this. You're no longer in the room, but she catches a trace of something familiar, that same scent from when you hugged her. And just like that, her mind returns to you. A great scent doesn't just say you're present, it says you were here, and she remembers how it made her feel. So choose wisely. If you're calm and centered, try a woody or earthy base. If you carry mystery and fire, go for spice, dark citrus, or leather tones. The right scent doesn't shout. It stays quietly, powerfully. This is seduction without trying, connection without words, and it speaks directly to the part of her that logic can't explain. You don't need to wear a brand, you need to wear an identity, something that says, I know who I am. Because long after the conversation fades, what remains is how you made her feel, and sometimes that feeling is carried on the air with just one breath. Section 3. Natural ways to crush anxiety. Let's address something that silently ruins more first impressions than most men realize: anxiety. You feel it in your chest, in your breath, in the tension behind your words, especially when you're sitting across from a woman who doesn't quite seem interested. Here's the truth, nerves are normal, but you don't have to be a prisoner to them. The man who controls his state controls the interaction, and more importantly, he controls how he shows up. A stoic man doesn't chase calm, he prepares for it. Before the conversation, before the meeting, before the moment, there are tools you can use, natural ones that help you find that stillness before stepping into the room. For example, L-theanine, found in green tea, supports clarity without sedation. It slows your breath without dulling your mind. Ashwagandha helps lower cortisol, your stress hormone, so pressure feels less personal. Magnesium glycinate eases physical tension and supports deeper rest, so you rise with more balance and less reactivity. But beyond supplements, there's mindset. Don't try to eliminate anxiety. Witness it, breathe through it, let it move, but don't let it lead. When you're relaxed, you're not calculating your next move. You're present, you're listening, you're steady. That's when she starts to feel something deeper, not performance, not perfection, but presence. Because attraction doesn't begin with a clever line. It begins when a man walks into a room grounded in himself, not needing attention, but commanding it simply by how calm he is. And in that stillness, your real self emerges. Not the nervous version trying to prove something, but the version that says, without speaking, I'm already enough. You're free to feel it or not. Section 4. Call someone who loves you first. Before you walk into that date, before the smile, the eye contact, or the first word, take a moment and connect with someone who reminds you of who you are. Call a parent, a brother, a friend, someone whose voice brings you home. Not because you need advice, but because their presence centers you. Why does this work? Because familiarity calms the nervous system. It lowers anxiety. It softens the need to prove anything. When you hear that familiar voice, you remember you're not walking into this to earn worth. You're already worthy, already enough, already loved. And that memory becomes your baseline energy. So when you walk into that room, you don't bring tension, you bring stillness, you bring ease. And women feel that. They don't always know why, but something about your presence feels safe, grounded, complete. You don't enter looking to impress, you enter knowing you don't have to. That's self-assurance without arrogance. That's value without needing validation. And that's the kind of energy that doesn't chase connection, it attracts it. She may not realize what shifted, but she'll feel it, and quietly, she'll want more of it. Section 5. Ditch the predictable date. Let's talk about the date itself. Most men follow the same script: dinner, a drink, maybe a quiet coffee shop, and yet they wonder why the spark never shows. Here's the truth. Predictable moments don't move emotions. And if you want to shift how she sees you, you need to shift what she feels around you. That starts with one decision: stop planning dates. Start creating emotional experiences. Instead of sitting across from her under dim lights, take her somewhere unfamiliar, somewhere with movement, tension, laughter, or uncertainty. It doesn't have to be extreme, it just has to be different. Try something curious or playful. Visit an obscure art gallery. Try a dance class where you both feel awkward. Get lost in a bookstore you've never been to. Take a silent walk under the night sky with no destination. Why? Because emotion is what makes memory stick. And when you create a moment that surprises her nervous system, she'll attach the feeling to you. This isn't manipulation, it's presence. It's showing her a version of yourself she didn't expect. And in doing that, you quietly escape the friend zone she may have placed you in. Psychologists call it misattribution of arousal. She feels something unfamiliar, excitement, or even nervous laughter, and her brain links it to you. Now she's not thinking about how polite you were. She's wondering why her heart beat faster around you. You didn't say more. You didn't try harder. You just broke the pattern. That's what creates attraction, not performance, but emotional polarity. Section 6. Show your confidence in subtle social ways. Real confidence doesn't raise her voice. It doesn't try to dominate a room. It doesn't perform. It lives in your posture, in how you treat the world, especially when no one is watching. You want to make a lasting impression? Then stop trying to impress. Start carrying yourself with silent integrity. When you're out on a date, it's not just how you treat her that matters. It's how you interact with everyone else. The waiter, the barista, the stranger who holds the door. When you show calm, respect, and quiet strength in these everyday moments, you're sending a message without saying a word. I don't need attention. I create presence. Women don't always know they're watching this, but they feel it. And what they feel is emotional safety. They begin to think, if he can move through the world with this kind of grace, then maybe I can relax around him too. And that's the secret. Because while charm might spark attraction, emotional stability sustains it. It's rare because most men either chase approval or try to dominate. But you stay centered. You speak when needed. You smile because you're grounded, not because you're hoping for validation. That's not just attractive, that's high value. Section 7. Pay the bill. Quietly, assertively. Here's a detail that separates boys from men. How you handle the bill. When that moment arrives, don't make it a performance. Don't lean in with a grin and announce, "I've got this." That's not leadership. It's ego looking for applause. Instead, wait for a moment when she's away. Maybe she heads to the restroom or steps aside. That's your time. Pay the bill quietly. No gestures, no words, no need for approval, just calm execution. This action carries more weight than most men realize. You're not paying to impress her. You're paying because you lead without noise, because you move with certainty, not for attention, but from principle. You don't need validation to do what's right. You don't need her praise to confirm your worth. That's what quiet confidence looks like: decisive, grounded, effortless. And here's the hidden effect. When she returns and finds the bill already settled without show or ceremony, it strikes something deeper: respect, safety, trust. She may not say it out loud, but she'll feel it. This is the kind of man who handles life not with flash, but with calm strength. In a world full of noise and performance, you just showed her something rare, real presence. And that kind of presence, it lingers long after the date is over. Section 8. Don't rush the kiss. Let's be real. One of the biggest mistakes men make at the end of a date is trying to force the moment, going in for the kiss too early, too eagerly. It doesn't make you bold. It makes you predictable. Now here's the truth. Restraint is far more powerful than instant gratification. What leaves a deeper impression isn't how fast you move. It's how you hold back with purpose. Instead of leaning in with urgency, end the night with a warm, intentional hug. Look her in the eyes. Tell her, "I really enjoyed this," and walk away with mystery in your wake. Leave space. Let her wonder, what's going to happen next? Will he text? When will I see him again? That silent curiosity is your greatest advantage, because when a woman starts imagining the next moment before it happens, she's already emotionally invested. That's how you go from forgettable to unforgettable, from just another guy to the one she replays in her mind. Now take a breath and let's go even deeper. Attraction isn't built on flashy words or a flawless date. It's built on presence, on the kind of man you are when you're not even around. This is where most men fail. They chase approval, attention, reactions. But the Stoic man understands the most powerful moment is the one you don't take. And when you walk away at your peak, she feels it, not in her mind, but in her chest. Section 9. Master the Stoic art of self-improvement. Let's get one thing straight. Real attraction doesn't start with lines, looks, or status. It begins with a shift in mindset, a shift so deep. It changes how you walk through the world. You want her to notice you, then become the man who doesn't need her to notice him. That's the paradox. And it's where Stoicism becomes your secret weapon. Stoicism isn't about being cold or emotionless. It's about training your mind to stay grounded when life tries to shake you. It's mastering your emotional responses instead of being ruled by them. Women are wired to sense energy. When you're the kind of man who doesn't spiral after rejection, who doesn't chase, who doesn't need her validation to feel like a man, she feels it. And more importantly, she remembers it because you're not just another guy trying to impress her. You're evolving quietly, relentlessly, internally, and that's magnetic. You're not trying to complete yourself through her. You're already whole. That subtle energy shift, that's what makes her look again and wonder why. But here's the truth. You don't do this for her. You do it for yourself. You start reading more. You get stronger. You set daily goals. You stop chasing quick dopamine and start building lasting discipline. You let go of the noise, social media scrolling, empty distractions, toxic comparisons. And in that silence, something changes. Not just in her, but in you. You're no longer the man trying to prove something. You're the man who's building something, and that is when she leans in. Section 10. Build psychological tension through presence. There's a hidden magnetism in a man who knows how to stay still, not physically, but emotionally. This is what we call psychological tension, that invisible current between two people. It's not created through trying harder or saying the perfect lines. It's born in the quiet contrast between presence and space. When you're with her, you're not chasing, performing, or impressing. You're simply there, grounded, calm, content with however the moment plays out, and that throws her off in the best way. Most men fill the space with nervous words or overcompensate with charm, but the ones who stay relaxed in silence, They speak volumes without speaking at all. They listen deeply. They hold steady eye contact. They smile with intention. They let their energy say, "I'm good either way." That subtle restraint creates curiosity. It makes her want to know more what you're thinking, what you're feeling. It invites her in, not through pressure, but through mystery. And when she starts leaning closer, when she's thinking about you more than you're thinking about her, that's when you've shifted the power without ever needing to take it. That's the essence of high-value masculine presence. Section 11, speak less, fail more. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. In a world full of noise, silence stands out. Most men talk to impress her, but the high-value man, he speaks to impress himself. When you do speak, slow it down. Let your words carry weight. Let silence do the heavy lifting between your sentences. That space, that pause, it builds tension. Don't brag. Don't flood her with facts. Speak only what's real to you. Talk about what moves you, what drives your discipline, what challenges made you who you are. When your words are rooted in honesty, not performance, something shifts. You stop sounding like a man trying to prove something and start sounding like a man who's already earned his own respect. And here's the twist. That calm, grounded energy, it lingers long after the date ends. Your voice, your vibe sticks in her memory, not because you tried too hard, but because you didn't need to. Section 12. Reinforce her safety, not just her interest. Attraction often doesn't fail because of lack of interest. It fails because of lack of emotional safety. If she wasn't drawn to you at first, there's a high chance she didn't feel secure enough to explore that interest. A woman may admire your looks, your charm, even your words, but without trust, none of it lands. So every interaction, every gesture needs to communicate something deeper. You're safe with me. This isn't about being passive or soft. It's about being solid. When you open a door for her, stay calm during disagreements, or simply listen without judgment, you're proving that you're not here to conquer her. You're here to connect, to understand, to respect her space. And that changes everything, because when a woman feels safe emotionally, not just physically, her guard drops. And once that wall comes down, she may begin to see you in a completely new way, not as the guy she once overlooked, but as someone steady, grounded, and worthy of trust. In a world where too many men rush to impress, the man who offers calm presence and emotional refuge becomes unforgettable. Section 13. Attraction is energy, not effort. Let this truth sink in deep. Attraction isn't about how much effort you put in. It's about the energy you bring into every moment. You can show up with flowers. You can craft the perfect message. You can pay for the best dinner, say all the right things. But if your energy comes from neediness, from fear, from trying too hard, she will feel it. Not logically, instinctively. Women are emotional barometers. They don't respond to words as much as they respond to how those words feel. If you come off as desperate, even politely, it repels her. But when your energy is calm, purposeful, rooted in self-worth, she feels that too. And that's the difference between chasing and attracting. You don't need to impress her, you need to express you genuinely. Let's tie everything you've learned together, all the moments we've broken down. The eye contact that bypasses small talk and ignites connection. The scent she remembers days later when passing someone who reminds her of you. The quiet confidence in how you walk, speak, and treat people. These aren't tricks, they're signals. Not to make her fall for you, but to show who you already are. Because here's the core truth. Real attraction isn't earned by trying harder. It's awakened by emotional gravity. You don't convince her to feel something, you simply allow her to feel something around you. Most men are stuck in performance mode. They think if they're funny enough, successful enough, impressive enough, then she'll choose them. But the women who matter, they're not waiting to be persuaded. They're waiting to feel something real. Not pressure, not perfection, but presence. The moment you stop trying to win her and start being fully yourself, grounded, steady, silent when needed, she'll feel it. And when a woman senses that you're not trying to possess her, but you're already whole without her, it ignites curiosity. Why isn't he chasing me? Why do I want to know more about him? Why do I feel safe and seen without him even trying? That's emotional momentum. That's what draws her back in silence, long after the date ends. It's not about what you said. It's how your energy made her feel about herself. A man's value isn't in how loud he is. It's in how much peace he carries into a room, how much presence he brings to the moment, and how much respect he gives to himself and to her without saying a word. Let her wonder, why didn't he kiss me at the end? Why do I keep replaying his words in my mind? Why does his silence feel more powerful than most men's compliments? Let her imagination do the chasing. Let your calm create contrast. Let your absence whisper louder than presence ever could. Because when you're no longer chasing women, you're becoming a man they chase. And not because of tricks or techniques, but because of who you've become. A man who listens more than he speaks, who observes without reacting, who smiles with his eyes, not just his mouth, who respects his time, energy, and purpose more than validation. This man is rare, and women know it the moment they feel it. So here's your final reminder. You don't need every woman to like you. You don't even need her to like you. You just need to become a man so rooted in his value, so centered in his being, that when she finally notices, it's not because you tried to be seen, it's because you were impossible to ignore. So the next time you walk away from a woman who didn't seem interested, don't shrink, don't chase, don't doubt your worth. Just smile, stand tall, and tell yourself quietly, she just doesn't know me yet, but she will. Thank you for watching this video. If something here made you pause and reflect on who you're becoming, take a second to like this video. It tells the system this content matters. Drop a comment and let us know which insight hit home for you first. I read every single one because this isn't just content. It's a conversation between men walking the same path. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, where we don't chase tactics, we explore timeless principles. Remember this, real attraction isn't about tricks. It's about truth, about who you are when no one's watching. And when you align with that, everything changes. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're becoming someone unforgettable. See you in the next video, brother.